This show is sponsored by APCW Wrestling Academy. Learn wrestling from WWE Hall of Famer Robert Gibson. If you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, contact them at 770-871-5417 or online at apcwdouglasville@gmail.com. Also, by Collar and Elbow Brand. Save 10% on your next purchase by using our discount code WPNRUSSELL. That's WPNRUSSELL at checkout and get a discount on great collar and elbow products.
You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
784, the World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Today on the podcast, we have a new face in the women's world of wrestling. You would have seen her as part of the AEW event to determine the new number one contender for their women's championship, but also as a brand new WoW superhero. Prior to that, listed as an actress and singer, but I said too much already, and she already has the catchphrase that she's far too much fun to slay. My guest tonight, the troublemaker, Teal Piper.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being part of the show. I'm glad to have you. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are interested in you and your aspirations going forward. So let's get to it.
All right.
All right. Well, as I said in the intro there, we know that you've had a background as an actress and a singer. So at this stage of your life and career, what has caused you to shift gears?
Well, when my dad died, I felt like a part of me died. But then there was this other part, Teal Piper, that was born. And I just felt this need to, you know, it's one thing to be ringside and look in, and it's another thing to be in the ring. And I wanted to connect with him and kind of see a part of what his life was like. And then once I went down that road and got in the ring, it turns out I really like it. So at that moment, I was like, all right, this is just something I have to do, you know?
Okay. I mean, you do realize that places you in pretty high company as it is. I mean, right or wrong, whether it's fair or not, second generations often get placed into this category that is separate from people that are starting fresh. So, I mean, do you feel any sort of self-imposed pressure when you are kind of cited amongst that with your second-gen colleagues?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say it's self-imposed. I'd say it's everybody imposed pressure, you know?
Okay.
It is not easy to walk in there and see these girls that didn't have, you know, second generation access or anything like that, and just, you know, walk in there and say, I'm one of you and I'm doing this too, when they've put in all this work and feel that they've built their own name and I'm just walking in and using my dad's name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot higher bar as far as what people expect from me, and there's a lot higher criticism, and, you know, there's a lot of animosity, but that's just natural, I think. If anything, it'll give me some good matches.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's just a professional animosity, not a personal. But as you just said, if anything, it should give you some good matches. It's not like we haven't heard wrestlers who didn't like each other, haven't worked with each other before. So, you know, that.
Right, exactly.
That's all well and fine. As I understand it right now, most of your training, if not all, takes place at the new WOW facility. Is that correct?
Yes, that is definitely the focus of my training right now. The head trainer there is Selena Major. She's amazing, and I'm very fortunate to train there.
Okay, so it is officially open now, correct?
officially open?
Yes, is it? Because I
Training
can't
center?
remember when I
Yeah.
heard when it was announced. I think that was the first press conference some months ago, but I didn't write down the dates. Is it officially open to the public? I guess.
I'm not sure when it opens to the public or how that works. When I'm there, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Probably for the public safety more than my own. But I don't know when it's going to open to the public. I just know when I go there, it's just actual hardcore training with the WoW girls.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll mark that off as to be announced at the
Yeah.
moment. But if you were, I guess it's kind of hard for you to really wrap this up and and describe the school with at this stage because it's not officially open. But if you were to describe your training at this point, could you give any, I guess, thumbs up to somebody? Because I'm sure there's going to be some young lady listening to this that's like, hey, I want to go when it is available. Is there anything
Yeah.
there that you would point to? Is like, yeah, this would be great to you because of XYZ.
So it's an amazing training center because they cater to women. So
Mm,
the way the ring is sized and everything, they're just catered to, wrestling in the ring as a chick versus a dude is a different thing,
yes.
and that's something that the industry as a whole has misjudged, in my opinion, over the years. And WoW recognizes women's strengths and knows how to showcase that. And so it's a really great place to learn. They're very old school there, which is it's almost fresh again because it almost became a lost art, the old school style of wrestling. So if you love the 80s and the 70s and you love that style and you want to learn that, this is a place to learn. And I think it's also a great place, even if you do want to go off and do other styles of wrestling, to start at. They're very good trainers. They do the best to keep it safe. So you don't injure yourself before getting into a match or anything. And
Hmm.
it's just a phenomenal place. It really is. I feel very fortunate to train there.
Okay. Just listening to you now, I say that it sounds like you've almost had to hit the ground running as you're training, and I already have seen, you've cut some promos and whatnot. So are you moving pretty fast under this WoW
Yeah. So
umbrella?
the problem, kind of going back to your first question of being, a second generation wrestler coming into this, is there's no half doing it. A lot of people would train for a very long time and do these small matches that no one really saw and really hone in their craft. And I don't get that privilege.
Hmm.
The second I said I was getting into wrestling, I got the industry's eyes on me, and I don't get that opportunity to grow as an athlete. I have to. There's just a higher bar, and sorry, I'm kind of losing my train of thought on that one a little bit, but
You're
it's
fine.
yeah, I originally had intended to, train secretly for a long time, and then it just kind of got out amongst peers in the industry, and one thing led to the other, and I was so grateful. David McLean and I chatted, and he was like, "Look, why don't you come to the WoW Training Center? You don't have to do our show or anything. Just see if you like it. We'll see if we can work with you, that kind of thing." And I was so grateful because it was at a time where I was like, I need to be training. I need to be training in LA, and everything was just moving so fast. And then, of course, once I got there, I fell in love with the company and the way they run, and blackmailed David McLean and Jeannie Buss into a job.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you do that? You are a troublemaker after all. Um, it's, now, I just want to address what you just said there. That quite clearly you've been kind of thrust into this, as you said. It would have been nice to kind of do this in secret, but the odds of the industry are on you. But I will ask this question as a sidebar. You are in WoW officially. You are there as part of the roster. But have you thought about, I guess for lack of term, doing double duty and working smaller locations around that to bring your game up when you are in WoW?
Absolutely. I think that I personally, I'm just a fan of the indie shows. I'm a fan of the scene.
Hmm.
For me, it's not about. There's no such thing as a small show for me, just because of my dad's name. it doesn't matter where I go. People will hear of it. So if I do a crappy performance in front of 20 people, people will know that happened. There'll be a cell phone video or something, and so for me, everything I do needs to be the best I can make it. And it is a steep curve that I'm on, but I love indie shows, and I do intend. I don't have any planned at the moment, but I do intend to be a part of them. And more than anything, though, WoW is where I feel my home base is at the moment, and
Oh,
where my most exciting matches, I think, to come are going to be right now.
absolutely. And you are correct. I guess that is one thing that you lose the luxury of because of your name. Somebody's going to have a cell phone sitting in the crowd waiting to see, although that is part of the fun of it, because then you have people
It is
like me.
part of the fun, and it's exciting. And I've always been the kind of person that thrives on pressure. So, as much as the bar is set high for me and all I can do is my best, but it also makes you work very, very hard when you have that kind of, when you have that above your head, and I don't want to let my dad down. And, I don't know, I'm a piper. I guess I'm just used to being thrown into things and swimming or sinking.
There you go. It's either sink or swim. And like I was saying, then later on down the line, years after you've done those events, you have people like me that'll bring up and say, "Hey, look at this! You remember when you was working in front of 20 people?" So,
Yeah, exactly.
because I happen to have footage of your WoW champion that is wrestling in the auto shop somewhere in Georgia. You should ask her about that one
Oh,
time.
yeah?
Absolutely. Anyway, see there again, you got to start somewhere, right? Um,
Exactly.
let's jump to your other line of work for a moment. We know that you were an actress. We know how being the daughter of Piper affects you in the wrestling world. Did you have a similar experience in the acting realm as in did it hurt or help to be the daughter of a famous professional wrestler?
Uh, I would say almost hurt. There's the stigma, I think, for every, there's definitely was a stigma. And, I always have struggled with coming off as like some sort of privileged, like kid of a celebrity thing. Um, Even though I'm totally not. I've worked very hard and have paid my own way ever since I was, out of college. So it's like, I worked probably harder than everyone else just trying to prove that that's not the case. But I got into film. I love film and sci-fi and all of that. And it for me was a very natural transition from stage to the squared circle.
Okay. So if nothing else, the personality shines through, and that's where the acting kind of melds with the wrestling persona.
Yeah, so for me, Teal Piper is just like, maybe it's because I'm a Gemini. It's like that other side of me that I don't really let out. I kind of hold inside. And Teal Piper is just that nasty side of me I get to finally let out and do whatever I want without consequence. So that's pretty cool. So I think with acting, how it helped me get into, segue into this is it just made me comfortable with myself, made me comfortable on stage and that kind of stuff. And now I can take Teal Piper and just exaggerate it and have fun in the ring and, hopefully not get broken.
Oh, you won't be broken. Too tough for that. We have all the faith in the world for you. Uh, a sidebar here because I've been preparing for this. I had to run through some wrestling forums and whatnot. Have you heard any page comparisons yet?
Ever since that movie of hers came out, all of a sudden everyone thinks I look like Paige, which, by the way, thank you. What a compliment. That girl is gorgeous. I've met her a few times in real life. She's a very nice person, and I think she was a very talented wrestler, and I want nothing the best for her, but I think the more time you see me on screen and in the ring, the less I'll be getting those comparisons because I really am very different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that they just need to get past the exterior and get to know you as you, and that, like as you
Yeah,
said, you'll be able
Apparently
to
there
branch
can
that
only
out.
be one pale brunette in wrestling. I don't know. We have similar skin tones, so for whatever reason, everyone thinks is comparing me. But I don't think that our personas or our style in the ring or any of that's really gonna be that similar once you see more of Teal Piper.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think that would change over time. Uh, I think when I was on the press conference, you had not yet met Jeannie Buss. Have you come across her since then? I know it's only been like a week.
No, my theory is that she's avoiding me like the plague. Maybe she ran into Dad at one point. I don't know. I'm calling you out, Jeannie. I know you're avoiding me. But I certainly know all about her, and I'm very thrilled to be working for her. So
Okay, now I'm gonna say now you saying that here, some news site is gonna pick that up and say Piper calls out Buss, or that'll be the
yeah,
headlines.
well, like I said, I don't feel like I have a lot of consequences in my life anymore. So
Ah, indeed. Well, okay. I do know of one of the Wild girls that has kind of incorporated her singing, or at least her singing career, into her gimmick. Do
Faith
you?
the Lioness?
Uh, yes, yes. Thank you. Uh,
Yeah.
do you perceive yourself as doing anything similar to that, or using it as
You
a
know,
platform at least?
right now I do hope to work on entrance music. I have been playing around with stuff, but as far as incorporating the two, to me, I think I might be schizophrenic. I don't know. Like I have different sides of my personality, and I've never felt that I want to mix my singing with my ring stuff. To me, it's separate, with the exception of maybe the entrance music. But for me, it's not really a part of Teal Piper. That's just Teal. That's another part of my personality. Um, so good luck keeping track with all my personalities, guys.
We will stay tuned for that. One of the things
Yes.
I will say that you have an advantage at is you've got a pretty fair amount of names at your fingertips. Working at WoW, WoW has acquired a lot of talent over the last
Yeah.
season or so. I mean, we're talking from Tessa Blanchard to Amber O'Neil of the Beverly Hills Babe, the disciplinarian. Some people know her as Robin Reed and Kiera Hogan. Some people know her on WoW as Fire, and a bunch of others. I mean, so with that and having that kind of access like readily in front of you, is there anyone in particular or any group of them in particular that you're looking forward to just on a personal level? Like, I can't wait to get in the ring with this person because I think I will learn a lot.
I mean, obviously, Tessa Blanchard is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people's. It would be really cool to get to learn some of what her knowledge to impart upon me. That being said, it would also be a pretty high stakes match for me, and I don't know how she feels about Teal Piper. But for me, I want to get in the ring and I want to test myself against people, and I want to learn, and I want to be with people that are better than me right now so that I can grow. As far as naming names, though, I don't really want to tell you who I have my eye on because I don't want them to be training harder in the meantime, because I do want to win.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I guess we can say that we can perhaps look forward to a Teal Piper debate with somebody because one of these strong suits has always been the ability to talk on the mic in the Piper family. So we're looking
I
forward to
think that
something
these
like that.
poor girls have no idea what they're in for with me on the mic.
Ah,
They're all super talented and awesome wrestlers, and I hope to psychologically wear them down to the point where I get to win a match because they're so broken from my talking.
okay. I know it's early in your career, and this is, I guess, somewhat of a sidebar. But do you foresee yourself working in any other all-female events, such as the Mae Young Classic, Knockouts, Knockdown, pay-per-views, so on and so forth?
Yes, well, as you know, I did the Battle Royale last weekend with AEW,
Yes.
which was all-female match and very intense. There's so many indie companies out there, but for me, what stands out is WoW Women of Wrestling. They have had women be the main stage, the main event, equal pay. They've had them in a respectable light for years. They've really been ahead of the curve with the rest of the industry really just catching up to that. And it's part of why I wanted to be part of why I felt this timing was good for me to get into wrestling, because it's just really awesome to be a woman and a wrestler right now. And it made me really want to support WoW as a company for doing a lot of that legwork, getting us to where we are now. You know, it wasn't that long ago that women in the ring were just sort of like these bimbo accessories to the men. And they didn't deserve to be. A lot of those women were great wrestlers, you know? So we've come a long way, but I think WoW is one of the reasons that we're here, and definitely one of my main focus when it comes to all women's wrestling.
Very good. The sleeper hole. You did bring up your outside excursion there for a second. Saw you apply that. Did you inherit that? Is that the finish going forward? Knocking people out.
You know,
with the sleeper?
that is something I've known my whole life. I've actually put out bar fights with it. Like, it's something I use in real life.
Oh.
Which, by the way, is pretty impressive.
I would say so.
The sleeper hold, no joke. You can, you know, don't do it at home, kids. Like, you can seriously hurt somebody or kill somebody if you don't do it right. That being said, will it be my finisher? I don't know. You're going to have to wait and watch.
Well, you know, that's probably as good a time as any for you to plug the day and the time that WoW Superheroes will air. I'll let you have that honor.
September 7th, this Saturday, the new season on AXS-TV. I will be live tweeting it if you follow Ariel Teal on Twitter. We'll also be in Los Angeles at the Belasco Theater the 18th and 19th shooting live matches. So come check it out, and you'll just have to see how Teal Piper webs into the story there. I'm very, very excited to kind of get my hands in there. I still have no idea what I'm actually going to do with it. I think I'm just going to go in there and play by ear and have fun, you know?
Well, you should go in there and have fun. And speaking of fun, this is the part of the podcast that I usually go down random questions, and I have a series of random questions for you, but then we're going to hit rapid fire, Piper edition.
It's time for random questions.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Outside of wrestling, what else do you enjoy doing?
I'm a singer-songwriter. I have a new track coming out, Anonymity, October 1st. Amber Eyes is already on iTunes. Wait for my album. Also, I'm very involved with animals. I love animals.
In your opinion, who does the best Roddy Piper impersonation?
My brother does a really good one. I actually don't know that many impersonations. I gotta say, my brother really nails it, but we know him very well.
Okay, I would have leaned toward Dr. Tom or Bruce Pritchard, but I haven't heard your brother, and I'm sure
you haven't seen my brother.
I was gonna say I haven't heard your brother. You are given a script to make a sequel to a movie that your father starred in. What movie would it be?
That's not that hard.
They Live?
They live. Obviously, they live. I've already said I'm a big sci-fi buff. I love that movie regardless of him being in it.
Oh, yeah. It's got one of the greatest fight scenes in the history of movies. I mean, what can you say?
Exactly.
Not that you're looking to do it, but if WoW wanted to create a parallel to your father's career, name 3 second-generation female wrestlers that you would need to accomplish that.
Parallel.
As in feud or angle or whatever.
Right. Charlotte Flair, obviously. I don't know if she's ever going to get into wrestling, but I'm willing to bet I could get Brooke Hogan in the ring, and that would be good. Lacey Von Erich, I admire her family a lot, and she would be a very cool match. There you go.
Okay. Do you actually own a Roddy Piper G.I. Joe action figure?
Oh, yeah, I do. I have 2 of them.
2 of them? Those things are rare. I couldn't even find one. Anyway.
I have a whole giant closet full of that stuff.
Oh, Lord. Man. Why'd you tell me that? I should have asked you about one of those. I need to buy one or something. Anyhow, before you get on my personal stuff here, one of the things your father's famous for was his early interactions with a huge TV star at the time, that being Mr. T. If WoW gave you free reign to have a celebrity feud today, who would you pick and why?
Celebrity feud. Interesting.
Celebrity feud.
What
yes.
a hard question.
That's what I'm here for.
Jeez. Who would I pick? I honestly don't know how to answer that.
You want to take a pass?
I have no idea. I've never thought about that. All of them? How about that? How about every director that didn't hire me? How about those?
Oh, whoa,
Blanket that.
I don't know if the directors count, but I'll take it. That sounds like there's an angle there. Screw those directors for not doing it.
Right? They don't know what they're missing.
They don't. And see, now as a sidebar, I have to unveil here. I gotta say, screw those people that didn't give me the money to make the movie with you in the first place. So,
I know.
See, I had a whole script. I think you read it already. Who knows?
Oh yeah, which script was it?
Match Beyond.
Mesh Beyond?
The Match Beyond.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh, I just connected to that script. Yes, I have that.
And you realize that at the time, nobody wanted to make a wrestling movie or deal with wrestling on TV. Fast forward 2 or 3 years, and then got Glow.
Business.
It's
not that you just kind of have to wait for the timing. It's all about timing in Hollywood.
Oh,
that's why I was like, screw this. I'll just wrestle my way and make my own timing.
Indeed. Oh well. Anyway, yes, that was a free one for you fans out there. Mr. Green had written a script, and that was it, and it didn't go anywhere. Same.
It's sitting in my office to this day.
I'm gonna have to rework on that. I'm gonna have to rewrite another version of it. Anyhow, it's one thing to be a star on TV, but in your estimation, aside from being a television name something else that, in your view, means that you have made it.
Oof. And honestly, I feel like I already have made it, and that's.
Oh yeah, you're on TV, of course, but it does just give me
me
another notch.
Being a worker.
Oh yeah.
I work. I pay my rent. Whether or not I'm the top name in the world in wrestling or TV or music or whatever, I've done my goals, and I will continue doing them regardless of how they're perceived. And I've been out on my own in LA, paying my way for years and years and years. Doing this, and to me that's it. I'm doing my dream.
Fantastic. Also would have accepted being a video game character, have an action figure, so on and so forth.
Well, I'm glad that that's what your version of me making it is.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'll take that video game money. Why not?
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't take video game money? Are you kidding me? That's good stuff. So there we have it, folks. That was a rapid-fire podcast version of the Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling with Mr. Green and Teal Piper. You can see her weekly now on AXS-TV every Saturday at, 8 o'clock? Or was it 9?
8.
8, thank you. I don't want to give out any wrong times. As a matter of fact, just hit the guide on your cable box or whatever you happen to be watching on. I'm sure it will verify it for you. Or you can go to the WOW website and social media pages, and they will inform you all that good stuff.
WOWE.com.
So I feel like I've done my job and promoted for a while. So any final statements or comments that you have for the fans and promoters and workers alike?
Yeah, just check out my music, follow me on social media, and as far as my upcoming matches and what I have planned, I can't really talk about it, but I hope you guys tune in, and if you love me or hate me, whatever, just be loud and be vocal about it. I'm listening.
Indeed. Teal Piper, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.